grand finale of of course, the arrival of the Madaraka Express right here at the Nairobi Terminus, marking the final destination of the president together with the entourage. So let me just give you an overview. So moving away from the park, so just imagine with me, yeah? You're coming in for a train ride. You've come in, whether it's with your vehicle, whether it's your motorbike, or whether it's your bike. You've parked it here right at this spot. You're just gonna, of course, the security teams, as we're meant to understand, there'll be many security officials who are deployed here. So you're just gonna park, and then it's ideal that all the passengers will come through this point. There's spikes here that are put, of course, just to mark that no car is allowed here, apart from, of course, all the designated cars. Cross over this point, and at this very moment, this is where now you are at the Nairobi Terminus itself. So on my right, see there is the ticketing system. So imagine you've parked on that side, come over here, get your ticket. Just to give you an overview, we're told that the promotional fares right now are 700 shillings from Nairobi to Mombasa. That's on the standard coach, and 3,000 shillings for the first class coach. What I'm meant to understand is that from one of the reporters that it's important to know that these are promotional fares. So how long will that last, or how long will that take? Perhaps maybe this is just for the trial run, but we'll wait to see how that goes. So Ken, you've picked your ticket, or you've just got your ticket right from that office on my right. You're going to go walk all the way, and you're going to move into the entrance. What you see behind me is the main entrance of the standard gauge railway line, where you can just go in. And of course, later on in this broadcast, we're going to show you kind of the inside look, how it takes. So what we're meant to understand is that the presidential security team has taken over, so no access at this moment. But we expect that as the day progresses, or will be allowed in, just to give you to give you the latest on that front. But also, we want to get a vantage view of the arrival, because what I meant to understand is that the president will arrive on platform 1, and then now cross over to this side, where of course he'll join the rest for the function right at the VIP dais. So this is an overview from where we are standing right now, and of course a lot to look forward to. And there's something that Dan mentioned, of course, being on board the inside Madaraka Express is just looking at kind of the local talent, just looking at some of who are some of the people who have been employed in these projects. Now, earlier on, you remember, of course, there were, of course, SGR protests, especially around this area. Now, as I mentioned, we are just bordering Machakos County, but we are in Nairobi County right here at Syokimau. Of course, there was a kind of an upheaval into what exactly are the jobs for the locals. President Uhuru Kenyatta himself traveled to China to negotiate for extra funding. So let me quickly bring in, when you talk about local talent, Eustace Githinji. Eustace Githinji is a graduate of Kenyatta University and has been working here for a few months now. So Eustace, you have been here and of course working with the Chinese, and I'm meant to understand that you actually speak fluent Chinese.
Yeah, my name is Eustace Githinji. The Chinese call me Along, that's my Chinese name. Yeah, I'm the translator for the station master, and I've been working here for 2 months now.
So when I mentioned that you speak Chinese, so how do you actually communicate? All I can say is that ni hao, and how do you respond, and is that all that goes to it?
Yeah, you can respond ni hao, but you need to use the tones so that if you speak the flat ni hao, it won't make sense. So you have to ni hao some tones.
All right, just give us what exactly goes on here, because being with the station master, you're in charge. I must say that we actually invited the station master for the interview, but he opted to have Eustace with us. But just give us an overview. Of course, the planning. You've been here, seeing the process, working with the Chinese. How has it been for you, especially even in learning skills here?
I would speak, in those 2 months I've been here, I've really learned a lot, because when it comes to a language, you really need to practice, okay? Practice is the first way of learning a language. And I think for those 2 months I've really learned many words, the words concerning the railway, the technical words. So I think it's a good thing.
And overview, because you have actually done economics, and I'm just looking at the SGR from where you sit in terms of just looking at kind of the opportunity for youth such as yourselves. What would you comment about that?
I think it's a very big opportunity for us, especially for at the moment SGR is going to employ a very big number of guys in Kenya. So I think it's a very good opportunity for us to grow with. And it's a job. The SGR is going to give us job opportunities that we didn't have back then.
But Eustace, we don't see many of you, as Dan mentioned, even aboard the SGR. We don't see many of local engineers or the local youth or local economists such as yourselves just coming up and taking such opportunities such as the China Road and Bridge Corporation have offered?
Okay, at the moment, I think I would say that the Chinese, the company, the CRBC company, is going to manage the project for the next like 5 years. And I won't talk about the engineering guys. Maybe most of them are the Chinese, and most of the guys who are working these big positions, like the engineering positions, are the Chinese. But I think later you guys are going to learn from them, and we might check those positions later. Those 5 years, because we are the ones who are going to check the company later after those 5 years. Yeah, that's I think it's not a bad thing. Yeah.
So we expect to see you here for the next 5 years.
True. That's my dream.
Yeah. Thank you very much. That has been Eustace Githinji, who's the local translator here for Chinese, of course, just attached to the station master. So basically, his main job is actually, to tag along with the station master and, of course, ensuring that there's an ease of communication. Something that also mentioning about local talent is skills transfer. So looking at what can Kenyans learn from the Chinese, looking at also matters with language, looking at the skills, and what have you, just to mention but a few. So Eustace is just one among many of whom we'll speak to, but I can tell you, Ken Mijungu, one who we're actually expecting to see right here at the presidential dais, and of course in view of the launch, is the Vision 2030 chair, that's Dr. James Mwangi, because we need to get down to the numbers a bit further and just really understand, kind of the cost-benefit analysis of the standard gauge railway line and how will this impact on the region at large. We have been concentrating a lot on the Kenyan aspect, but remember, this is a regional project. This is a regional project to open up the northern corridor, to mean that kind of that ease of transfer of goods from the port of Mombasa all throughout Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Burundi, but at the same time also ensuring that Kenya is not really a net importer, to also ensure that Kenya can also export. Remember, the challenge has been to ensure that also the country can now have goods and produce to export further out. So we're not really getting goods out of Mombasa, but ensuring that we can also transport goods to Mombasa and further afield. So, Ken, this is just an overview. Yes, as you've rightfully mentioned, the sun is out. It's a bit hot right now, so we need to get some shade because, yes, we are going to be here for quite a while as we wait for the president. So allow me now to take a break and perhaps get a bottle of water together with the team right here at Syokimau. Ken Mijungu, it's over to you.